Hello, everybody. Welcome to NinjaChris Silly History. This month, we're talking about dolphins. We're looking at the history of dolphins, and I'm your host, NinjaChris, who would like to just share the wonderful world of dolphins. And blooming, I'm boiling hot already, and I haven't even started yet. I gotta mention that the weather over here in the UK, we're not used to that. We're not used to it being so dark warm around here. But hey, we've got to chug along with it, haven't we? But yeah, it has definitely been very warm. So forgive me if I do lose a bit of energy during this, or I may do exactly the same and be as energetic as ever. Who knows? I have no idea. I'll just go with it. But anyway, we're looking at the world of dolphins. Some you probably love a dolphin. You've probably seen them in movies and all stuff like that. But where did they come from? Who made who made the dolphins? Yeah, well they appeared out of time, I suppose. This was something that came up. So yeah, it started off. They're a part of an animal group that have called Whipomorphia. Whipomorpha. Oh yeah, I've gotta give you a heads up. Quite a lot of the stuff I will probably be saying it wrong or right because there's no real right or wrong way to say it because none of us really know. So people say it like that. People say it like that. The potato situation, even though I don't know who actually calls a potato. Some posh prat up at Buckingham Palace probably says that when he wants his jacket and his potato. But yeah, anyway. So dolphins were originally, well, they still are in a group of Whipomorphia, Whipomorpha, which yeah includes dolphins and also hippopotamuses because they share a lineage, which is probably a bit strange in some cases because a, a dolphin looks absolutely nothing like a whale or dolphin. The thing back then, it's more of the skin style. It's just the rhinoceros, the hippopotamus kept their legs, but the dolphins did used to have legs, which is probably it was an amazing thing for me to find out. Granted, this was about 50 million years ago, give or take, was when they had legs, and even they had fur. Some of the we started with when 50 million is a group of five called the Archaeoceti. The five those stages of the prehistoric leading up generation, and the first part of it was the Pachycetus, which was a wolf-sized land animal that lived near water on the edges of Pakistan, where Pakistan is now. So it used to be essentially a wolf, which is quite interesting. And then the second one kind of went into was called the Ambulocetus, which is which is often called a walking whale because it's like a furry crocodile as it states here. They could walk on land, but they can also swim in water whenever they wanted to as well. Pretty good. They were pretty nimble guys. And the third and fourth ones, they aren't exactly said so much. And yeah, forgive me, this one. This one is quite a long word, so it's a Remington citade, citade, something like that, which were long-snouted hunters with great underwater hearing that lived in muddy waters. Now, because the legs are starting to get more shorter, they're struggling to hold up their body weight. And since they're on muddy ground as well, with tiny legs and a big body, they're losing their balance quite easy, especially on the muddy surfaces. They're rolling around a bit. So hey ho, gradually over time they're losing their legs, and then we get to this fourth one, which is another one of the rarely acknowledged ones, because these are the Cetidae. This one's the first semi-aquatic ancestors to swim across the world's major oceans. They were what they are described as is kind of like a sea lion moves. It's like a sea lion from about 40-50 million years ago. So yeah, so it was about 40 million years ago where they actually started moving to the water. So yeah, went into a sea lion. But then we got to the fifth one, which was called a Baleosaurus, or king lizard, essentially. Now, these ones lived completely in the ocean, like the modern day ones, except these have got useless hind legs because they're way too heavy. Their legs are digi and they can't push up their own body weight. So they had to basically bail out and say, well, we're in the water now, we're going to have to stay here. And then at later times, these little legs and arms turned into real. They got blubber and stuff all over them. But if you get an X-ray of a dolphin or whale, you can actually see in the fins that there's actually a 5-finger thing. It looks like just a big, essentially it's a big glove. So they still have the fourth, which is when they swim up and down like that, because that's how we are when we run. Because when you see a regular fish swim, they swim side to side. They swish side to side. So it's a very interesting development in the ways, but you can sort of see now why they're classed as mammals, because obviously when I first started seeing dolphin and people were saying it's a mammal, I'm looking at it's like, it does not look like a mammal if you ask me, because it's in the water. It kind of looks like a fish, but they're looking into the history of it now. I can see why. It's amazing. Within about 16 years, or about 10 years, it went from a furry animal and from 50 million years, but then you got to the 40 million to 34 million. They were losing their legs and they became useless. It's unbelievable to think, though, that a dolphin at one point actually walked on the land, which I personally thought was amazing to find out that It could happen. And yeah, finding out that they're related to a hippopotamus as well. I thought that was actually quite humorous from my personal point of view because, yeah, they look nothing like each other. So, yeah, what do you do with that information, eh? So, yeah, this is in the Archaeoceti era was from 50 million to around 34 million when they eventually all kind of died out, and we then got into the era where we started with the primitive kind of oceanic dolphins, which look like a primitive whale and not quite a dolphin yet, but this is where they started learning their echolocation and stuff like that. So from 34 to 20 million years ago, this is the era of where they were kind of learning how to speak with each other, essentially, because well, naturally, they couldn't exactly talk to each other or communicate. Fair not, else they probably just attacked each other a lot and played around. Because that's something fun that you find out about dolphins is they're little bullies. You'll find when they show them on movies, they they are hiding their true nature. When you see stuff like Springwatch and stuff like that, you're not seeing the truth behind it all. Because really, dolphins are little buggers. They are. They'll pick on anyone, and to say the least, that are a bit like drug addicts essentially, because they have this thing with a pufferfish that they kind of which is a pufferfish is poisonous, but dolphins, because they're so clever, they've worked out that if they take in little bits of it, it gives kind of like a narcotic effect and stuff. So they essentially get all trippy and high over dolphin, and they know to do this, and then they just pass it to their friend. They get trippy as well. It's like it's like a freaking drug den now with them, with their pufferfish. They don't show that sort of stuff, though people have found out. It's just one of those silly things that you find out in the passing. And then after, but that's in the future. I've jumped the gun a bit here because that's more modern. That is for the dolphin era. They're very very naughty. They're behavioural issues, but because they've got a natural smile on their face, they always look innocent. But in reality, they're only doing what they're told because they know that they're getting a fish at the end of it. There's loads of these myths and stuff that pass about. It's like they helped people in the Romans get through the passage on a boat and stuff. And it's like, but then you find out, but they didn't. They just liked how the water flowed with the boat. They essentially saw it as a free ride, because when a boat moves forward, it gives some sort of pressure at the front. So the dolphins were essentially just, yeah, thanks, just keep pushing me. It was like a roller coaster for a dolphin. They basically, because they were very very intelligent, this was when after they had their brain get bigger. That was about 5 to 2 million years ago now. So they just grew bigger in brain, because when they started, their brains were very very small, so they didn't really understand much. So yeah, but during it, after the primitive ones finished about 20 million years ago, we started with the Kentrodon Nitidae, whatever. They lasted from 20 million years to 10 million years ago. They were a dolphin body shape, social. They're very social with each other, which is, I suppose, is a good thing. And they had the modern version of elocation. I think they got it down at that point. But also during this time with the Kedronite day, oceanics, they the river dolphins decided that they wanted to get involved. Then that was in about 15 million years ago. So halfway through that Kedronite era. So basically, the reason why we ended up with river dolphin was because we were in the Miocene era where the water level started going down, and essentially dolphins were stuck in a certain area, so they had to adapt. I mean, like the ones in like the Amazon River, them sort of dolphins were there. That's it. You're there now. You've got to adapt to that location. So, and the thing with river dolphins is they can't see very well because of all the muddy waters they've got to deal with. Because when you're in the ocean, you're just free. Go for it. Go. Have a free reign. The ocean is clear, and it's like, but when you're in like a little lake or just a big river, you get a load of, I don't know, muddy stuff in there, and you just can't see. You're just one of those. I forgot. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let's say hello. Hey, Anna. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm trying to stay cool. Hey, Marley. Good to see you here. Jeannie, good to have you here as well. Been a while since I've seen you around here. So yeah, it's good. It's good to have some of you pop back in. Terry, hey, it's good to have you in as well. Glad to have everybody. It's good to have everybody go. Joanne, brilliant to see you here as well. Oh, I needed a break anyway. It's kind of like, yeah, it gets very, very warm around here. Hey, Joanne, how are things in Bonnie Edinburgh? How you stay? Have you got any bacon report? So, does Joanne have any bacon report? Yeah, it's time. I'm here. I'm here. Is it? There we go. There's Joanne's bacon report. Your bacon report. Chocolate brownies, cheese scones, and melting moments. Ah, sounds nice. You're making me hungry, even though I've already had a Chinese dinner tonight. Even though it wasn't really Chinese, mine was more a chicken omelette and okay, I had rice with it. I had fried rice with it. It was a beef fried rice. I think it's clever because they don't do a beef omelette. So I have a chicken omelette and then have a beef fried rice. Figure it solves both problems because I find it difficult to choose between chicken and beef. I like them both. So it's a clever way of being able to have the best of both worlds. I thought it was a foolproof plan and I enjoy it. A lot of protein and stuff goes into that and everything. Elephant puppet. I don't think I've seen you here before. You're gonna you're gonna have to tell me what your real name is because I haven't. All I've got is elephant puppet here. But yeah, I'm doing okay, thank you. Yeah, the heat. Um, so I hope everybody's doing okay this month, wherever you are, whether you've had rain, whether you've had so much sun like we've had here. I mean, I know the World Cup's with the World Cup going on. I know over in America it's also quite warm because they're constantly hopping on about having these hydration breaks, which I will admit they are very annoying and momentum killers. I'll give them that. Oh, thanks, Terry, for telling them about the like button. You know I don't like doing that sort of thing, but yes, you can hit like, subscribe. I don't really like doing that sort of thing because that's the common thing you see on YouTube videos. I'm here just for a relaxed chat with everybody, and I'm grateful if you want to like it, if you want to subscribe. I'll leave it to you to decide, but I'm not gonna force it down your throat. So yeah. Hey Dan, how you doing? I'm just trying to get down all the messages. I went rambling very early on, and I went dolphin mad. Yeah, well, it's a good place to go dolphin mad, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I need to maybe slow down a bit. Really, you're really enjoying my talk. Thank you, Joe. Heat, heat index, Genie. Heat index is only 96 right now. 80 Fahrenheit, Maorley. It's about 80 Fahrenheit. Do you live in Wales or something, Maorley? Oh, did we find out who that elephant person was? Because Joanne, no Cadbury chocolate fingers. I haven't had those for ages, but I haven't seen them on the shelves anymore. Those big packs. I think I could get little packets nowadays, but I haven't got any in the house at the moment. And if I did, they wouldn't last long. Because, well, they're very nice. And I'm sure you can't go wrong with a bit of chocolate. The chocolate finger. Oh, Chris, you're a reformed character. Am I? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Stand both sides with the hydration breaks, with the high heat and humidity. It is important for the players and the fans. I understand, Terry. You're cooking with veal cutlet, with potatoes and corn on the cob. Well, that sounds more fancy. Joanne, Jeannie, your weather sounds so. Would the heat though? Oh, I don't know. Yes, Maorley. I'm in the Maorley. Yes, I'm in the west of Wales. I don't know what a heat dome is. You'll have to fill me in on that one. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, yeah. Oh, I so much love doing these live streams. It's sometimes a shame that I only do them once a month. But I think I'd burn myself out if I did it more than once. Because with how much energy I put into my live stream working, I need to just save all my energy for the end of the month and then go for it. I think with me doing the dolphin topic, I think if I'd remembered that the World Cup was gonna be on, I may not have done such a highly researched topic because it feels like the topic that I set last year for this month, because I set it a while ago and I didn't know that the World Cup was on, because my love of football's been a bit here and there lately, so I haven't really been keeping track. So when I find out the World Cup's on while I'm doing my live stream, I'm like, ah, I, I didn't really want to give full effort into this dolphin chat, though it seems that quite a lot of people have come in to view because I'm nearly at the 10 viewer mark. So I never know what's going to happen. I just take it month from month. If you want to join, you join in. I'm glad to have you here when you do join in. That's so. Anyway, well, where were we? Yes, we were invading. We were having a river invasion at 15 million years. The water levels went down. There were still oceanic dolphins, of course. It's just they all separated away, and eventually, around 11 million years ago, we got the Delphinidae, the Delphinidae, which are the modern oceanic dolphins, which are more flipper, blub, the, the dolphins that we know and love today. They are growing today. The ones that are growing their brain, they look so innocent on movies and stuff. Because I love movies like Ace Ventura, stuff like that. When you hear about talking about the dolphin, it's like, there's also that, which also brings me on to the fact of how the common mistake is, and me also, that a dolphin and a porpoise, that people think they're the same thing, but in reality, they're completely different animals. They're part of the cetacean group of family of animals, but they are completely different because let's just say a porpoise is more of an introverted, because you get common harbour, and they haven't got a big nose like a dolphin has, because you've seen a bottlenose dolphin and stuff like that where they have the big snout. Basically, a porpoise looks like it's just it forgot itself and ran into the wall several times, and it just kept knocking it down, so it ended up with a more flat face. It's the best way I can say it. So, and it's about the teeth as well. I think dolphins have a more cone shaped, and porpoises have more flat. So there's the difference between those two. So people don't make that error, because a dolphin and a porpoise are completely, well, they're from the same group, but also different as well. You know? So yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good to it's good to see how. Yeah, thanks, Dan. I'm doing my best with all the information that I gather, all the notes that I have to gather over the month. I have to do, and trying to note it and trying to make sure I can turn it into a good presentation sort of thing. So yeah, you're old enough to remember watching the wonderful sea explorer Jacques Cousteau and his amazing adventure under the oceans and seas around the world. Cross porpoises. Cousteau was truly amazing. His programs were good, Philly. Yes. I don't know much about Jacques Cousteau. I don't know much about Jacques Cousteau, but hey, there's actually some places where you can actually eat dolphin, and it's one of those. I don't know why I just said that, but some places do actually do that. like in China, I think is probably one of those. And yeah, funny thing is when I look at the list, 10, that's actually quite a long time. 1,000,000 years is quite a long time. But because because I can read through it fairly quickly, it doesn't feel that long. But like 10 million years ago, when the most modern oceanic dolphins came in, this is a long time ago. And even then, 10 million years ago, the dolphins hadn't quite developed a big brain yet. So it took them another 5 million to 8 million years for them to keep developing the brain. And then when it got to 2 million years ago, that's when an ice age came. And then everything moved around. So you had this is where the different countries and stuff developed. So we got different dolphins in different areas of the world so they could adapt to that location. The thing with dolphins is they're always learning from each other. So if a dolphin crosses over into a different area of the ocean, they can learn from the other cultures there. They're actually the second smartest compared to, along with the human, in the way of learning. So they use their education in order to adapt. So they don't just stay away. They learn how to live where their new location is. So, which is why the echolocation talk, the sonar talk, is good, because they can communicate the new rules to them so they can survive. So we had land movements and all that. So it was the ending of an ice age. I think it was the end of the Pleistocene era and stuff. So we ended up having dolphins. And it's amazing how dolphins were actually kind of worshipped as gods, essentially, in the ancient Greeks and the Romans time. They actually saw them as a form of god in them time. They actually printed a dolphin on the back of Roman coins back then, because they actually thought they were sent in a form of God to humanity to look after them, to protect the waters and stuff like that. So it was considered a huge sin if you harmed or killed a dolphin. So they thought it was a form of them coming onto the earth and checking, but it's what they believed back then. And yeah, they believed in the underworld and all that they came to help you off to the underworld. They came to guide you and all of that. So it's amazing how the world of a dolphin has actually inspired human culture over many years. Then dolphins became French, funnily enough, because well, when they became essentially a royal fish in from about 500 AD, because the French were starting to build their empires and stuff back then, and they used the dolphin. But back then, they only considered it as a fish, because, well, dolphin I think is a more modern word that we use. But the word dolphin was obviously existent, because the reason why it became a royal fish after about 1000 AD, they started adding stuff like, if you've noticed, like the Dauphin of France, because Dauphin is actually French for dolphin. So, and a French Dauphin was basically this understudy to a ruler, essentially. So They and even on their emblem there was a picture of a dolphin on it during the French Dauphin era. So it's like, so dolphins. Imagine that you've got a French dolphin. Oh, oui, oui, French. Yes. I don't know. I can't speak French. Where's JR when I need him? Oh, funnily enough, I just turned around and there he is. Actually, hello, JR. I wasn't actually looking at the chat. What are the chances you show up as I'm talking about the French? Did you? Sorry, did I send the? Did I send out a warning to you? Sorry, but it's good to have you here. Anyway, wow. Yes, yes, they worship. But they had, but the thing is, the ancient Romans and stuff, they had all different types of gods. So they probably thought it was like Poseidon sending in stuff, or something like that. One of their millions of polytheistic god situation that the Romans and the Greeks had. So that's probably long. Sorry, I'm happy to call it a night, only missing the rest of the England games. Yeah, yeah, enjoy the England game over that. But I'm still gonna keep rambling right now. So if you continue to watch, I'm glad to have you here, and it's great to have you here, JR. It's funny how I was literally just speaking about how the French influenced the world of modernizing the dolphins, or the French used dolphins as their symbol. So if you have a look at one of their older crests and stuff, you will actually see dolphins in their emblems, which is bring back the French Revolution with an army of dolphins to kick Macron out. I'm sorry, I don't know much. I don't know who's in French leader, but and yeah, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved in the politics because I know politicians and stuff struggle, and not everybody likes politicians, and some people get in trouble. And yeah, your favorite dolphin was the Splasher from the Japanese animation series Marine Boy. I don't know much about that, but anyway, very good. And more modern, and they've still got them today. They actually have military dolphins, which is not something that I really like the idea that they did, because they started it during like the Cold War and stuff like that, just to essentially scope out an area. Because I saw a photo of one with a flipper and a blooming camera or something on their arm, and I heard that some actually shoot darts or something. If an enemy gets too close or pushes into them or something, it fires a dart at them or something, which I think is, well, it's still got, and that sort of thing still goes on. I think these days, but oh dear, oh no, it's really give Philadelphia at FIFA. Oh right. Yes, several countries, including the USA and Russia, have used military dolphins. Well, yeah, not so much now, but it's still happening as well. And you might have noticed something from when I started talking, that I mentioned Wales a lot. Not the country, but in people, and I probably got you thinking that thought I was doing a show on dolphins, but the thing is, they couldn't tell the difference between a whale and a dolphin back then in time. So, I mean, you've got something. I mean, people know the orca or a killer whale. That's a dolphin. Just to throw it in there, which surprised me because I thought killer whale. It's obviously a whale, but no. Apparently, even if whale is on the title, I mean, you've got things like the blue whale, which is actually a whale, but it's a weird thing. But it it's like all dolphins are technically whales, but not all whales are dolphins. So it's a very interesting situation and probably hard to tell because, again, they're from the same group of cetacean mammals. So it's probably difficult to tell. And you've got loads of different types of dolphins. I mean, obviously, the bottlenose dolphins, and they are very well. They look very, very sweet in an aquarium and stuff because they've been trained properly. And you've got the common bottlenose dolphin, of course. It's highly intelligent in many aquariums and movies. And yes, I've already mentioned them in movies. And I always come back to the Ace Ventura. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the movie Ace Ventura. I'm assuming quite a lot of you have. But yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun movie, but I didn't realize I was actually learning things from it as well. But yeah. So yeah. A lot of these whales, because you've got a pilot whale, a false killer whale, a melon-headed whale, pygmy killer whale. All them I've just read out are actually dolphins. So yeah, that's probably thrown off your perception now. So whenever you hear whale, you're like, are you sure it's a whale? Or is it a dolphin actually? You never know nowadays. You can never be too sure. I mean, you've got simple ones like the common dolphin, and they've actually got a short beaked and a long beaked. You can work out what the difference is between them. I don't think I need to explain that. One's got a long beak and the other one's got a small beak. Go figure. And then you've got loads of variety of river dolphins as well. So, like I mentioned, the Amazon River, you've got these are famous for a striking pink colour. It lives in the Amazon and the Orinoco River basins of South America. You've then got a Ganges River dolphin, which is found in the muddy rivers of India, Bangladesh, and Nepal. They are nearly blind and retire and rely entirely on sound. The Indus River dolphin, which is a close relative of the Ganges dolphin, but it lives only in Pakistan. This one does. And we've got an extinct dolphin here, which is called the Yangtze River dolphin, or for short, Baji. Unfortunately, due to human activity, they are now extinct. And you've got one called the La Plata dolphin, or Francine can. Let's just call it the La Plata dolphin, is a unique river dolphin that actually lives in the coastal salt waters and estuaries in South America. Because I think the platter dolphin is the one that's a bit in the middle, because it can also go into the ocean as well. So it's not a full river dolphin, and it's not a full oceanic dolphin. It's one of those that I like to dab my toe. I like to dab my flipper in both sides of it. So it's what you get. That's a good thing for people as well. If you're in hot weather, just make sure you keep yourself hydrated. Killer dolphin just doesn't roll off the tongue. Sorry. I think the Chinese dolphins are blind. I don't know. There's dolphins over all the world. So I remember the late great Robin Williams swam with a pod of dolphins, and his telling of the adventure was hilarious. All right. So Robin Williams, God rest his soul, was a good actor. He got into trouble a few times, but I remember enjoying him in the movie like Mrs. Doubtfire and Jumanji. I know that there's nothing to do with dolphins in this really at all. Though in Jumanji they did have some animals and stuff in there, so they did have some. Anyway, there's just there's just that thing that still took me off, that the ancestors of a dolphin actually had legs. That's just something that I'm struggling to get over understanding. It's like, can things just go? I've never actually seen I've never actually seen Robin Williams as a comedian. I've only ever seen him in movies and stuff. But yeah, he did you did know that orcas were dolphins from watching all those nature programs. No, I have never watched the Ace Ventura movies. Uh, oh, Joanna, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you here, and I hope you keep cooking and baking and doing all that stuff, and and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your night, hope hopefully I hear that England win. I thought it'd take the pressure off because England are already through to the next round. I don't know why. I assume that the points scoring, I never checked the table, so I assume we got through just because somebody else lost. Maybe Croatia lost or something. I don't fully know, but yeah. Blooming heck, we're nearly at 50 minutes already. Time flown by, absolutely flying by. All this, all this dolphin chat and everything. But what can I say? I enjoy dolphin. I can remember my auntie. One of my aunties. She used to love having dolphin pictures around and stuff. And I kind of got used to being around the pictures of dolphins, so they kind of stick in your mind. And yeah, they do look fairly cute, but unfortunately, it's sad to have found out that the movies only portray them as happy people and stuff like that, and they portrayed them as heroes and stuff like. I think something about dolphins. They helped get a Roman soldier to the seashore. They helped them, but apparently the actual reason is because dolphins don't really. They see the obscure as obscure, so they'll. And a man floating on the water is weird and obscure, so they'll just keep bumping it until it goes to. Essentially, if they saw a watermelon bouncing up and down on the water, they'd soon just push that one to shore as well. So the dolphins are genuinely just play. They like to play. They like to be the bullies of the ocean. They tend to pick on the little fish. They actually pick on porpoises because they are smaller, and they actually pick them and start batting them to each other and start playing with them and that, like they're a blooming cat toy or something. Start throwing them around. So that was a bit of a disappointing thing. But I'm not surprised that they do that, because that's the way animals work, I guess. They want to play, and if they play with their food a lot as well. And as I mentioned earlier, they like sipping the poison from a pufferfish, which is essentially like an alcoholic drink to them. It's like, and once they've had enough, they'll pass it to their friend, and it'll just keep going around in circles, and they get some sort of toxins from it that make them look like they've been smoking something that you're not supposed to actually smoke. Like all animals, dolphins have their wicked side. Yeah, I think it's just the movies that have portrayed them, and I think the movie called Free Willy as well. I've never actually seen it, but I know that's based around a dolphin. It's that always looked really, really, really happy. I'm jealous of New York, and is that New Jersey that they have rain? Sorry, I'm it's just letters there. I'm just kidding. Cats play with their food too. They absolutely do. And we've got new cats. We've got new cats in the academy, and a future kit and a future set of kittens, as I've heard in passing. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show, and I hope you've learned something about dolphins, and my delivery has been adequate for you. I've given you enough information, and I hope to see some of these friends in church tomorrow. Yeah, I think they've all gone off to watch the England game now, since they're probably going to kick off in about 8 minutes. So yeah, you've enjoyed today's show. You cannot wait for next month for some unknown reason. Yes, and as you pointed, next month my live stream is on Philadelphia. I'm gonna do the history of there, and I am sure Anna will appreciate that very much. Anna Philly Mouse. So yeah, yeah, yes, Marley. I do try and get as much detail as I can out of it. Sometimes I can't get as much detail, so I can't draw out the hour as much with information. But the good thing about it is we still get to chat with each other and stuff, so the hour is never wasted. It's just how much of it is used for sharing my research, and how much is used for chatting about a tangent off. So yes. Oh, well, it's some sort of special year for your city, Anna. But it may involve it. The thing is, it'll be called the History of Philadelphia. But I've got a feeling I'm going to have to draw my way into Pennsylvania as well, just because that's where Philadelphia is. But that might be one of those I'm going to have to try and find a way of dragging out the hour. But I'm sure, Anna, you will help. You will help me. You will help guide me through that show quite nicely. because there's a good chance I'll miss on a lot of information because obviously I've never lived in Philadelphia, but I know there's a lot of stuff going on. I've actually seen quite a few pay-per-views recently while watching the WWE on Netflix because they've gone to Philadelphia a few times because they've got a big performance center there, or something like that, where they could do the wrestling events, the wrestling pay-per-views and the PLEs and stuff like that, so they could get all that shown off. So yeah, it's all good that we get all that. So there's a lot more to Philadelphia than I probably know about. Over the next month, I will dig deeper into it and see if I can develop my own storyline as well. I won't just say, right, I don't really know. I won't just wing it, even though winging it seems to be my natural style. But it seems to keep working, and yeah, you keep coming back for more, and I'm glad you do. I'm glad you keep coming back and keep having fun fun here. I assume you have fun chatting. You get to catch up with each other as well because sometimes you don't get to chat. I mean, people like Dan who you only ever see here, and well, you got to meet JR as well, who showed up because JR is French, or Jean Rock, as is I believe his name actually is. Yeah, if he's still watching, I'm sorry if I ruined your name, but stop. You having a oh dear, no. I'm not singing. I'm not singing us out, though. I though I may require singing because yeah, I'm not a musical person. I never have been, and I never will. But I do, for some reason, occasionally sing, but usually to myself. No, don't worry. You'll be there here to provide the knowledge. Yes, I'm sure. But again, I will try and find my own information because I want. To be fair, I do these sort of things to test myself to see how much I've actually found out for myself. But there is times where I will say, I don't know much about this. So if somebody wants to ever help me out, they can add their 2 pence or whatever. So sometimes I will need help. So yeah, I do all the research I can. I mean, I've probably not covered the whole history of dolphins. There's probably a lot more little details, a lot more specific details that I haven't covered. But the topic of dolphins was quite interesting for me. I always saw something different. The movies lie. The movies just pure adulterated lie to you, essentially. But anyway, I gotta love it. And again, the coming from having legs are just like amazing. I keep everyone pays it. I hope everyone pays attention next month, as there will be a quiz afterwards. Oh dear, you keep mixing up. God bless America with God save the Queen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the American national anthem, and I barely know the English one. On top of that, I'm anxious to watch the new season of the. Oh, I don't know about it. But anyway, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. You are all wonderful group of people. Those of you who have watched live, and those of you who are watching at a later date. Or maybe you're rewatching it again because you loved me so much that you thought, let's watch it all over again. Let's watch this crazy British guy ramble about dolphins. Why not? It's what you can do. But hopefully you've learned a little bit more about uh, oceanic and river dolphins. And yeah, I'll hope to see you again. I'll talk to some of you, obviously, off camera as well. We need to discuss things. We need to discuss business, get things sorted. Anyway, thank you, thank you. You've all been wonderful, and I'm glad you've stuck around with me. Thank you, and I'll see you next month. And have a blessed month, and come back for Philadelphia. So that should be fascinating research. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.